Hello students! In this video, we're going to talk about fraction, decimal, and percent conversions. Our first scenario is decimals to fractions. One thing you must know for this is you need to review your decimal place values. If you look up here at the chart, after the decimals we have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths, and millionths. Most likely we're going to be dealing with our tenths, our hundredths, and our thousandths. Let's look at one example. If I have 0.6, the way I truly read that is 6/10. The way you say it is the way you write it as a fraction. So therefore, 6/10, then I'm going to simplify to 3/5. 0.6 or 6/10 equals 3/5 as a fraction. Let's take another example. 0.08, we go 2 places after the decimal. So 2 places after the decimal is the hundredths. So I read this number as 8 hundredths. And simply the way I say it is the way I write it. And then I'm going to reduce to 2/25. So 0.08 or 8 hundredths, written as a fraction in simplest form, is 2/25. Finally, our last example. 6.25 is just going to be 6 25 hundredths. Our whole number stays our whole number, and our decimal 0.25 becomes 25 hundredths, which also reduces to 6 1/4. Now we're going to go over fraction to decimal. There's different levels of complexity with this. Let's start off with the happiest and easy one. Any fractions that have 10, 100, or 1,000 are our happy fractions when we want to convert to a decimal. In our first example, we have 9/10. Because the denominator is 10, again, what we say is the decimal that we write, 9/10. So therefore, it's going to be 0.9, again, 9/10 as a fraction, and 9/10 as a decimal. Keeping with our happy numbers, let's look at 21 over 100, or 21 hundredths. Again, the way you say it is simply the way you write it as a decimal. 0.21, I go out to the hundredths place, is 21 hundredths. Now, our partially happy problems are problems where the denominators can be multiplied to get 10, 100, or 1,000. Let's look at a fraction like 2/5. Our denominator, 5, can be multiplied by 2 to give me 10. Therefore, my numerator can also be multiplied by 2 to give me 4. Now I've created a happy fraction, 4/10, which can be converted into 0.4. Another medium happy kind of problem could be a problem like 3/20. 20 times a number can't give you 10, but 20 times 5 can give you 100. So therefore, 3 times 5 gives me 15, and now 15 hundredths is a nice happy fraction that gives us 0.15, or again, 15 hundredths. Not all of our fractions can make us happy. Some give us a little more work than others. So these are our unhappy fractions. They're unhappy because they're going to require you to do a little more work and you're going to grumble. Let's take the example of 5/8. I cannot multiply 8 to get me 10, 100, or 1,000. So I'm going to need to divide. Top number divided by bottom number. 5 divided by 8. Please be very careful. The 5 is on the inside. One student had once told me that the 5 dives in to the pool and the 8 stays on the outside. To start this division problem, you're going to need to add a decimal point, and I like to add a whole bunch of zeros. By adding those zeros, it doesn't change the value of the number. Bring your decimal point straight up, and now divide regularly. 8 doesn't go into 5, but 8 goes into 50 6 times. 48, subtract, I get 2. 8 goes into 20 2 times. 16, 4, bring down my next 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times. And then I'm going to get a 0 there. I don't need my last 0 because 5/8 equals 0.625 or 625 thousandths. Converting from decimal to percent is very easy. If I have 0.56, I'm going to go to percent, so I'm going to be technically multiplying by 100. When I multiply a decimal by 100, I'm just moving my decimal place 2 places to the right. So therefore, I have 56, and now I'm going to put a percent sign. Let's take a look at another problem. If I have 0.75, I just need to multiply by 100, move my decimal 2 places to the right, and then add my percent sign. If I have 0.05, again, 2 places to the left, and I get 5%. Going from percent to decimal is equally as easy. If I have 57%, I'm going to be running away from my percent sign. So therefore, this time I'm going to be moving my decimal to the left. I'm technically dividing by 100. So therefore, my decimal point likes to hide right here, and I'm running away 2 places away from the percent sign. So 57% as a decimal is 0.57. If I have 8%, I'm moving 2 places to the left. 1, I need to still jump another number, so I'm going to annex a 0 and place it there. So 8% equals 0.08. Percent to fraction is also nice and happy and easy. Remember, percent means per 100. So therefore, if I have 8% and I want to make that as a fraction, it's 8 out of 100. And then you would simplify to 2/25. Let's take a look at another one. If I have 29%, I simply take my 29 and place it over 100. This is already in simplest form. Nice, happy, and easy. Finally, we're going from fractions to percents. There's a couple different ways to go about this, and again, it depends on the numbers that you're given. If I have the fraction 1/4, a percent is a ratio to 100. So we can set it up just like we've always been solving the problems. Okay, and 1/4 equals some number over 100. 4 times 25, so I'm going to multiply my top by 25, and I'm going to get 25 hundredths, which equals 25%. So you could set up your equal ratios and make it equal to 100. That's one method. The other method is to take your fraction and convert it to a decimal. So therefore, let's say I have 1/8 and I want to know what percent 1/8 is. This time I'm going to convert it to a decimal. I'm going to do 1 divided by 8, add my decimal point and a few zeros, and then start dividing. That goes in once, that goes in twice, and that goes in 5, and then I can stop there because 1/8 equals 0.125. Then I take my decimal of 0.125 and now convert that to a percent by moving my decimal 2 places to the left towards my percent sign, and I will get 12.5%. So 1/8 equals 12.5%.